No order, some chaos, all fun. JockWave.
Making me absolutely crazy. Look out for me! I'm a man! I'm 40! I ain't scared of you. Or who we thought they were. And we let them on talk. You can't have my cornbread, that's for damn sure. And if you try to take my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree won't begin up in here on your ass right now.
Greetings and salutations. You know who it is. It's me, the King, David B. And this is JockWave. This is the home of freestyle podcasting. No scripts, no prompts, no texts sitting in my face. Nobody telling me how to do it, when to do it, and what to do. This is just freestyle podcasting at its finest. Thank you very much. I'm the sports guy who's going to talk to you a lot more than I'm going to talk to you about a lot more than just sports. And there's so much going on today. There's so much going on this week. You know, you have the Super Bowl in Atlanta. I'm reading, my Google News like I normally do. I read Google News. I read Yahoo News. Because Google News and Yahoo News, they pull articles from multiple sources. So they'll pull an article from Fox. They'll pull an article from CNN, from YouTube. Vlad TV. Or Vlad, whatever. So they pull articles from everywhere: entertainment, world, political, lifestyle, all of that. And that's what I'm all about. That's what JockWave is all about. So what are we getting into today? Well, there is extremely cold weather coming down on the United States of America. There is a cold streak, snap, whatever you want to call it. There is a push of cold air coming through the Americas at this point in time, and definitely North America. Where that is causing power outages in Minnesota. That I think it caused the Michigan governor to declare a state of emergency. Here in Georgia, we had some scares, earlier this week about possible snowfall and ice, and they shut down schools, I believe, yesterday in Atlanta and certain counties. Outside of Atlanta, just cold air everywhere. But so bundle up. And check the temperature before you walk out the door. Just because it looks warm, doesn't mean it's going to be this week. So you might want to check that. It's January, so you kind of expect it's the end of January, and we didn't really have a really cold January. So I think it's trying to get itself. I think January is trying to catch up with itself. So, what else is going on? So there's Meghan McCain. I've been reading about her for the last week. About I guess what she has going on on the View, with disputing with Whoopi and Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg. I'm sorry, and Joy Behar. Those who don't know Whoopi Goldberg, you should know her. If you don't know Whoopi Goldberg, I think you've been under a rock. I don't care how old you are. If you don't know Whoopi Goldberg, I think you've been living under a rock. She's one of those people, those people in entertainment that you've seen her in some avenue of entertainment. She has a Tony Award, she has an Emmy Award, she has an Academy Award. So she has been all over the circuit, and then she's on ABC every day, Monday through Friday. So you should know Whoopi Goldberg. Joy Behar, I believe she's a comedian as well. Not as famous as Whoopi Goldberg in those, with the regards of, the awards that she's received. But Joy Behar is also a host of The View, Meghan McCain. has been disputing with, I guess, it mostly has to do with politics. Um, Meghan McCain is a known Republican. She kind of took the place of Elizabeth Hasselbeck or whatever on The View, um, and she's not really has never really been shy about saying what she feels. And why I don't really care for Meghan McCain's politics or even some of the way she like looks. I would say some of the way she kind of holds her nose over people. As I kind of get the whole "I'm better than you" thing from her, but like I said in my earlier broadcast podcast, you know that's no you don't disrespect, like, so that doesn't mean that she should get any less respect because of that. You still respect her. You might not trust her or trust her character. I don't know how that would, but I don't know her that well. She might just be like that when she's on the show, or I don't know if she's like that in real life or how that works. But it might just be she feels she has to kind of um, protect herself. That's like her defense mechanism of how she looks and all of that stuff. So, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Meghan McCain. However, she had made a statement, I guess recently. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but her dad had passed away. Senator John McCain passed away fairly recently. I think it was in December or something like that. I'm not sure the exact date, but her dad had just pretty much just passed away. And she was really close to her dad. And the idea that she is still going through the grieving process of her father passing away. And she said, made a comment about she hates the country without her dad being around. And I guess people had like tried to blast her for saying that crap. And you have to understand I understand, even though I'm not a Meghan McCain fan. I probably disagree with her on a lot of things, but I understand where she's coming from. Because I can pretty much read between the lines. I think it's just basically understanding just human nature and people. But she's saying that her dad was a leader in this country. She doesn't like the fact that the Republican Party is kind of taking a turn for the worse, backing Donald Trump. I know she's not necessarily a Trump fan, while she's trying to still be down for her party and her party's politics. I believe she doesn't feel that Trump is is a very good representative of the Republican Party's politics. I don't think she backs all of his politics or his antics or anything like that. So, but you have to understand where she's coming from with the whole idea that her dad was a leader. Her dad is where she got her values from. Republican, and her dad is an avid Republican. Her dad was an avid Republican, and he taught her these things. And he was, so the fact that she said that has nothing to do with that she hates America. I think people just want to jump on something. They have nothing else better to do than to try to jump on something. Oh, you don't like America, then why don't you go where you get a life? Really, really get a life. And that's the idea of social media. The social media, like I said, media is no longer mainstream anymore. It's the mainstream media is social media. Excuse me for what it's worth. We still have journalists, analysts, and commentators and anchors, and we still have people who do research and go out and find, and interview and they get, they're getting their hands dirty that way. And they're getting into work. How the people from social media get their content is through other journalists. For the most part, we get, and I'll put myself in that same. We get our content from other journalists, other reporters, um, information, and that's just what it is. So, and even people like Omega McCain, who does research and then comes on the show and talks about it. So a lot of people in social media just hear a headline or hear something and then they comment on it and they don't really know where the person got that information from, and they do no research themselves. They're not trying to do any research themselves, but they just want to talk about somebody or say something, and that bothers me. Even if I don't agree with that person that they don't agree with, I can understand where that person's coming from because they have a point of view that they gathered from researching it, from studying it, and then they got an opinion, not to just have a random opinion, just to be having an opinion to disagree because I don't like you or whatever. That's what I don't like about social media, that people just be saying stuff and they don't even know what they're talking about. So I'm on the side of Meghan McCain. Like, respect the chick. She's strong. She has I think her dad gave her a strong will, and my heart goes out to her in her grieving time. My prayers are for her in her grieving time of grief still with her dad passing away. But she doesn't hate America. She just wishes that the leadership in the Republican Party, I think it has to do with her dad just being gone. But she just wishes that the leadership in the Republican Party would stand for what her dad stood for, more so at this point in time. So we'll move on from that. This is JockWave. I'm King David B. And yes, you've joined me. So what else is going on this week, this tomorrow, yesterday? But Super Bowl in Atlanta. Saw a lot of Super Bowl parties going on. How can I put this? There's a point spread, right? For Super Bowl. I told you I'm not gonna mention prediction. I told you guys this last week or the week before last. I will not talk about Super Bowl predictions until probably the day before the Super Bowl, because that's all you're gonna hear. That's all you're gonna hear. All week long for the last 2 weeks, you've been hearing about Super Bowl predictions and statistics, and Brady has been there this many times, and the Rams, and the last time they played each other. You're going to hear everything about everything, and now you hear a point spread. Point spread has to do with gambling. There are people who have they call gambling a disease, where you have to go through Gambling Anonymous, like Alcoholics Anonymous. You have to go to a actual facility to get over this thing, which is interesting to me, because how is it that we put gambling on a mainstream field, that it's so mainstream that ESPN analysts and Fox News Fox Sports, and who else? CBS Sports, all these sports networks and columns are telling you point spreads and point lines and over unders, and that's all gambling stuff. That's all for gamblers. Explain to me why we would publicize that. Why would we publicize point spreads and odds and lines for the mainstream public to know? Why would the public need to know that? In certain states, I believe gambling is illegal. Yet this is all over national TV, and we kind of just look past it like, oh, it's no big deal, And that's what's funny about that, because they allow it. So I always said, why? What is the point of giving the point spread as a reporter, as an analyst, as a commentator, as a journalist of sports news or whatever? Why do you need to give that out? Unless you're actually expecting people to gamble and It would say break the law in some cases. In other cases, help people help people. You're helping people, or I guess it would not be really helping them, but you are giving people an opportunity to going back on what they said they wouldn't do. Maybe they hear that point spread. Ooh, I should place a bet. And these are people who are struggling with an addiction. So that's what that's enough. I done said enough about the point spread because it bothers me. It bothers me why. Excuse me. It bothers me why they would do that. It really does bother me why they allow that to happen on national TV. JockWave, King David B. With the Super Bowl halftime show is supposed to be given by the headliners are Maroon 5, and Travis Scott's supposed to be a part of that. We don't know who's supposed to be coming up there with Maroon 5. We have no idea. But Maroon 5 has received a lot of backlash for the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. Rihanna said no. Travis Scott is black, though, right? Okay, I think he might have received some type of backlash, but, I believe he's black, and I think he has a baby with one of the Kardashians. I don't really know anything about Travis Scott. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know much about Travis Scott. I ain't heard his music. I don't know nothing really about him. I just don't. And I don't care. I don't really watch the halftime show. Unless it's good. Like, I'll know if it's good when I start watching it. I'm trying to remember the last halftime show I watched. I don't remember. I know Beyonce was on there one time. I don't think I watched Beyonce. I don't think I did. A lot of other people did. I'm not a Beyonce fan. I'm not a fan of Beyonce. I'm okay with that. Like, ooh, those the Bay, what do they call them? The Beehive. Yeah, they'll get you on social media. You know what? That's why I said people would crack me up with this whole they'll get you on social media crap. I'm not a fan of Beyonce. I'm not a fan of Beyonce's music. I have no clue. I mean, I'm sure I've listened to some things, but I'm not going, just not a fan. Anyway, the idea is this. But I think that's the last time I knew, I think that was a few years ago. I think the last one I actually watched was Prince, I think. I think it was Prince. The last one I watched. I want to say Prince was the last, and like I said, I had to see them, actually perform first, and then. But yeah, Prince was the last one I watched. I think I watched Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars' show was actually very interesting. I think I watched a lot of his, if not all of his, because he was actually a good entertainer. Beyonce, no, okay, so I think I did. Beyonce did put on a good show too. Okay, maybe I did watch hers. She brought Kelly, didn't she bring the Destiny's Child up there with her? Okay, maybe I did watch most of that one. She did a pretty good job, I think. Yeah, like I said, I don't hold anything against anybody. I give people the respect. Beyonce is a popular person. I give her respect for being and doing her thing. And doing it well, and you got to give respect where respect is due, and then you got to be honest too about what is good and what's not. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't listen to some people, but the fact that Maroon 5 is going through. Yeah, I'm heating up my coffee. Shut up. That Maroon 5 is going through this little public outcry, and they're putting it to the fact that you should. Rest on Colin Kaepernick's side. Well, Colin Kaepernick has been out the league for what it's worth for the last 2 years, and I don't recall hearing about this same outcry of performing during the halftime show last year or the year before when this all started. I don't recall hearing about all of this until this year. When Maroon 5 said, "Oh yeah, we'll take it," and I stand with Colin Kaepernick. I believe I say stand with him. I believe what he's doing, or the reason he's doing it, is all good. It's correct. It's right. I do. I believe he's righteous in what he's doing. I believe it's wrong that they're keeping that man out of football. I believe it. I'm actually a fan of Colin Kaepernick in the sense that definitely as a player who got to the Super Bowl and was one score away from winning, one fumble, I should say, one drop pass away from winning the Super Bowl. He did what he had to do. He's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. Why he would not be in the league is beyond me, and I think he should win his suit against the NFL, who have blackballed or blacklisted or whiteballed or whatever they did to him, but they've made him made sure that nobody has hired him. I do believe that they have gotten together and said nobody better hire this man. I believe it. I believe because the owners talk to each other, all of them do. So, but the whole Maroon 5 thing is just beyond me. Why everybody has an issue with Maroon 5 versus anybody else from last year or the year before. When, I don't get it, and I think it's ridiculous. They have a petition online. Severely stupid. Okay? Those are my technical terms. Severely stupid. Knock it off. It's JockWave. I'm King David B. There's some other stuff on the Super Bowl. See, like I said, the Super Bowl's going on this week. So Gronk, that means, what is his name? Rob Gronkowski? Rob Gronkowski made a fragile statement recently that had to do with his favorite number. And he was like, oh, you know my favorite number. It's 6 times 9 plus 6 plus 9. And she knows what I'm talking about, pointing to a reporter or something. And people got, somebody got salty about it. Somebody had a problem with it. And what did they say? Oh, somebody said that he should be suspended for saying until he apologizes But then I was reading, or I did a little bit of research on Gronkowski. He's been saying this same little joke, because they called it a joke. He's been saying the same distasteful joke for the last 2-3 years or more. And nobody has said anything about it. But this year, much like the Colin Kaepernick, the Maroon 5, but this year, at this Super Bowl, okay, it's a problem. Yeah, it's wrong. And you know what? The man did not sexually harass anybody. He had a distasteful joke that he's been saying for a long time. Same joke that nobody's ever had a problem with. All of a sudden now you want to have a problem. Okay, shut up and just let the man, you can tell him, like, man, you shouldn't have said that. Okay. Or the reporter, you shouldn't. I mean, shut up. Just say it open. Shut your mouth, man. Period. Like, I have a problem with that. Okay, just say it and leave it alone. Nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to happen. I'm black. Because I know people like to associate any harassment issue to black folks. And they say, well, you're black. How wouldn't you understand? Like, here's the truth. I'm going to go ahead and say this. And I'm going to be proud when I say it. You can't associate the mass incarceration, the slavery, the treatment of black people in the United States of America to every harassing thing that goes on. You can't. There's no way that because people aren't being beat, and people's families, generations aren't being raped. People aren't being enslaved. People aren't being kept out of jobs. So you can't equate the black. I'm looking for the right word. The black story, the black people story, the story of black. You can't equate that, or the social injustice that have happened to blacks in this, and political injustices that have happened to blacks in this country, with everything that goes on. You just can't do it. It's not possible to equate all that with with the black struggle and say, well, you should understand her, and it's just like, and it's not. It's not. He made a distasteful joke. He shouldn't have said it. Tell him it's wrong and move on. Maybe he won't say it again. But the fact that you were okay with this man saying it last year, he just said it, or the year before last, he just said it recently before, and everybody laughed and moved on. So the fact that you want to bring it up now because he's on a different stage, it's on a higher stage or something, is ridiculous. People need to shut up. Like I said, sometimes this court of public opinion or this social media, the giants of social media, people just need to just be quiet sometimes, or just I think they need to like read and research and do some things themselves. Most people have said some distasteful jokes. Nobody thought that they should be suspended for it. It's not called harassment every time somebody says something stupid. So, okay, I'm done with that one. I'm for real, because it's silly. Like, he made a stupid joke. Okay, it's not funny. Blah 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 blah. Keep going. Yada yada yada. Keep going. That's all. JockWave, you're on with King David B. What else is going on? So, I was reading. Kevin Hart. Because earlier I talked about the Jesse, what's his name? I can't pronounce his name. Jussie, Smollett. So I was talking about him earlier. I read that Kevin Hart was saying, telling him to stand strong. We're with you and all that other stuff. And saying, oh, it was wrong, and he was, stating his opinion on, what's going on in America. That so he was, standing on that young man's side, and you actually had people coming at him, saying like, how you see what you like they're blaming Kevin Hart for people beating up Jussie Smollett because of Kevin Hart's jokes that he made. What was it, 10 years ago? I don't even know. How long ago was it? For comments that he made a long time ago, they are trying to ostracize, but they're trying to come at Kevin Hart in a way that would make it seem like he was wrong for making the comment, which led up, like his comments led up to the beating of this man. And you see why we care so much about these comments, and you see why this. And I'm thinking to myself, the guys that whoever that beat him up and did all that, one, they were racist. Okay, first and foremost, because they didn't beat up a white gay person. Okay, let's get it out in the open. They didn't find a white gay dude to beat up. Okay, can I say it? They didn't beat up a white gay dude. Let's first of all say, first and foremost, they chose him because he was black. Let's get it out there. They chose him because he was black. And then they chose him, maybe, I'm assuming, then they chose him because he was gay. Now, I would have to believe that if he wasn't gay, you say, well, would they have attacked him? I don't know. I can't say that. But I can say that these men were racist, and they were promoting Donald Trump's slogan. They didn't promote Kevin Hart's slogan. They were promoting. Hello, they didn't repeat Kevin Hart's joke. They repeated Donald Trump crap. You understand? They were repeating slogans from our president of the United States. Hello? Can somebody hear me? So the idea that people came at Kevin Hart after he's saying kind of like my thoughts and my prayers are with you type of thing, stand strong, brother. The idea that, well, and then people try to take jabs at Ellen DeGeneres for, well, see, how you going to have Kevin on your show when this is the type of well, I can't remember all the stuff that I read, but this is the type of stuff that we're talking about when it comes to joking around about beating your son, and where you at now? Like, what's so funny about it is that these same people probably voted for Donald Trump. They try to take a jab at D.L. Hughley. They took a jab at Ellen DeGeneres. They took a jab at Kevin Hart. So they try to take it. I'm reading. People try to take jabs at people for oh, how you gonna make this statement? Like, it's clear. It's like I said, a lot of us who understand certain things, you can have your own stance. I can have my own opinion. You can have your own opinion. This is what a lot of comedians and definitely other entertainers, I would say, feel. You can have your own opinion, but I can still respect you. You understand? And in fact, a lot of people in those realms, the celebrity realms, broadcasting, whether you're a comedian, broadcaster, an actress, or actor, whatever, you respect the fact that you have a stance on, a stance or an opinion, same thing, on a situation, as opposed to just regurgitating what other people have told you. You respect that somebody has an opinion and they're willing to back it up with factual evidence, or they have a reason behind it, not just having an opinion, or just trying to attack people for the sake of attack's sake. But it's just ridiculous. Like I said, these are probably some of the people who voted for Donald Trump that are coming at Kevin Hart, or coming at D.L. Hughley, or coming at Ellen DeGeneres. Probably some of the same people who voted for Donald Trump. Like I said, these people who beat this man were promoting the president's values for what it's worth, promoting what the president's campaign was, promoting, wearing his hat. So don't. I'm gonna say this to the people who got a problem with Kevin Hart or D.L. Hughley or Ellen DeGeneres or anybody else who has their own stance on things. Why don't you get a stance on something and then try to come at somebody? And get a stance on something that somebody didn't tell you to have, or you're just not rolling with the court of public opinion. You're just rolling with what everybody else says or what everybody else does. Get your own stance on something. So trying to come at some of these people who are actually out here trying to do something and to help people. Respect. Whatever. Thank you very much. This is JockWave. I'm King David B. What else we got over here today? What else we got? Let's see. You know what? I was reading. Well, can I say this? Wendy Williams is going through some issues. She dislocated her shoulder or fractured her shoulder or something like that. And Nick Cannon's supposed to be stepping in for her on her show. The 6th, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th of February. I hope Wendy Williams gets better. I like Wendy Williams' show. And I know a lot of people don't like Wendy Williams. Some celebrities don't like Wendy Williams because she can be kind of messy. She can be kind of messy, and she kind of not only does she tell the news that she heard or whatever, but she gives an opinion almost like without knowing facts. She gives an opinion. She gives her opinion like a lot of people do. I say court of public opinion. She gives her opinion, but she's not. She has a national platform. So she gives her opinion, and people actually listen to her, and they think they know information, and she's really just giving her opinion. It's not actually fact. And that's the only issue I have with Wendy Williams sometimes, is that she can be, some of the stuff she does is a little messy. She says some stuff that's some slick stuff. And, like I said, typically when people are doing that and acting like that, they have issues with themselves. And we know things that are going on with Wendy Williams right now. There's some things going on with her husband, her home life and stuff like that. So my heart goes out to Wendy Williams. My prayers go out to her and whatever she's struggling with and going through. And I hope she gets better because, like I said, I think she's a strong woman. She's a strong sister. And I really look forward to her getting better and having her show, be, as good as it ever was. I like watching Wendy Williams. I haven't watched it in a long time, but, I enjoy Wendy Williams. Even when I don't watch it, I still think she's, she's a good, reporter. I think she's good for the business. I think she's good for entertainment. And, all love to her. And I hope that she gets better. Okay. That's what I really do. What else we got here? No. I do. What? Is that a bad thing? I do. No, I used to have a crush on Wendy Williams a long time ago. I have a crush on Wendy Williams. She's a weird looking person, but she looks, there's a time when Wendy Williams looked kind of weird. But I just think, there's a cuteness about it. There is something cute about Wendy Williams. I don't know, you can see it. It's there at times. But that's why I said I used to have a crush on her a long time ago. But I think it's the strength that she has and stuff like that, because that's the type of female that I like. Those are the type of females that I liked were strong, assertive females. So let's see what else we got here. Yeah. Okay, thank you. No, I really got to work on my sound bites because I don't have all the sound bites that I want to have, and I got to work on getting more sound bites that be like, "You right?" There's a couple of the sound bites that like I said, the barbershop sound bite. I got somebody from the League of Their Own that I want to have. There's a Few Good Men sound bites. There's sound bites from some movies and TV shows that I want to put in here. Rocky. Definitely there's a soundbite that I want to have for that, which is what's his name? Burt Young or something like that. But he's on Rocky 4 when he says, they say, who are you? And he's like, who am I? I'm the unsilent majority, Big Mouth. And I got to get that on there. So there's certain sound bites I need to have so that my show sounds better, does better, looks better, all that better. Okay, but what else we got? What I've been reading a lot about is Jeannie Mae. Jeannie Mae. You know who's that? Jeannie Mae. She's on The Real. I don't watch The Real at all. I don't care for it. It bothers me. My wife likes it. I don't like it. I'm a fan of Tia. Tamara is actually cool. Like I said, I don't have a problem with her. Like I said, I ain't never met her before. I ain't never met Tia either. But I'm a fan of Tia more than I am of Tamara. I like Lonnie. I do. I like Lonnie. I don't care for Adrian. I think that's her name. And I definitely didn't care for Tamar. I think she's, a little bit, okay. And I'm not talking about their intelligence level, because I think anybody in the entertainment industry has some level of intelligence, if not a heightened level of intelligence, because of all you have to, take in and then give out. And you have to, sidestep and be careful of certain things. So I think that there is a level of intelligence that you have to be in that field. So I don't take anything away from Tamar. I think Tamar is a extremely intelligent person, but I just think she's a little off. But I never really cared for her on the show either. Jeannie Mae, or whatever, however you pronounce her name. I don't really care for her either. However, she's been in the news With what? I've been seeing articles about her as it pertains to finding a new dude. This is JockWave. I'm King David B. So she found a new guy, or she's kicking it with Jeezy, young Jeezy. She's kicking it with him, In an article, it says what she said, like, "Oh, we're just hanging out and whatever," which means they banging each other, they banging it out. Yeah, she getting with him. She was with a white dude for what, 10 years? Okay. Well, now she was married to him. She was married to this white dude for 10 years, and now she has the opportunity to kind of get with whoever, and she probably had, like, I want to get with somebody black. She probably had that idea because black dudes, I'm sure, have been coming at her for many years, probably before she got married and after she got married and while she was married. And so, because she's a cutie pie, she's cute. And just as, all the chicks on the real are cute females. But here's what I was going to tell you. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you. That's why I have something to say about it. The idea that she's, that the whole Jeezy thing, that she is, her with Jeezy, the reason why it's a story, I believe, this is David talking, King David B. The reason why I believe it is a story is because he's black. I don't think it's a big story, or they're not talking about it, too much if it was a white dude in the business world. I really don't. I know recently they talked about Lonnie coming out with her boyfriend, but guess what? I've seen like one article about Lonnie with her boyfriend. It's not like all over everywhere and you won't believe this. And maybe it's because it's a black dude who is, a rapper too. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that it has to do with the fact that he's black and a rapper. Because like I said, you don't hear about Lonnie's dude who's white. And I think everybody else is married to a white dude. You say, well, what about, what's his name? Israel, who's married to Adrian. That's his name. That's Israel or whatever. Wait, is his name Israel? Or something like that? I know he's supposed to be, is he mixed? I can't tell what he is. He don't look black to me. I don't know what he is. And I know people are like, well, you ain't got to look black to be black. Okay, whatever you say. I got a problem with him because he's supposed to be something that he portrays something that he's not. Her husband, yeah. So I don't dislike nobody, but like I said, I don't really, care. It's like I ain't really, yeah. I don't care for her. I don't care for him. They're a little odd couple to me, but everybody else pretty much is with white dudes on that show. And the fact that the Asian chick has now decided to roll with a Negro, yeah, that some would call a nigga, she rolled with a nigga, and it's like, oh, we ain't tripping about who she with or whatever. No, but like I said, she's on kind of a big show that's known, and the fact that she's with a rapper, a black rapper at that, that's really the news, is what it is, and why they keep on talking about it, I think. But I digress. One more thing before I go. Joel Santana. Joel Santana was going to jail, serving his little time. I think it was prison, actually, serving his time for the gun charges that he had. But they deferred his time for 30 days so he can go to the Tyler Perry studios and make some show or do some things there, which is interesting for me. But this is what happens when you're rich. You can kind of get out of jail time. If you just mention certain people's names, okay, yeah, no, this would affect my bottom line. So I just thought it was weird and odd. And I had to just mention that real quick. But just before I go, thank you. Just had to mention that before I go about Joel's. But thank you for joining me. Hello? Thank you for listening to me. Go ahead, go to my Instagram, Jock_Wave. Go to Twitter, Jock_Wave. Follow me. Go to JockWave TV, my YouTube channel. And go to Spreaker.com and hook me up. It's JockWave with King David B. You know who it is. I'm out.